We continue to keep a close eye to Hurricane Beryl. It is finally showing some signs of weakening. It made landfall earlier this morning along the Texas coast and has been working northward, and it's maintained initially its hurricane strength with winds of 80 miles per hour. With the 8 a.m. update, the winds were down to 75 miles per hour and the central pressure came up 1 millibar. First signs that this thing is actually starting to weaken a little bit, and these things will weaken as they spend time over land. But this really held a lot of its strength over the last few hours. Want to take you in and show you the live radar sweep. You can see our radar and the technology here indicating several locations where there are early signs of rotation. You get a lot of that as these bands of very powerful and gusty winds, these squall lines come in, and they interact with the friction of the earth, trees, buildings, things like that, and you can get little spin-up circulations, and that's what we're monitoring with all of these areas. You see early signs of rotation. It's been very wet and windy. There are flooding issues along the coastal areas and right along the little barrier islands there down towards Galveston. They've had water over the streets there, and we're continuing to watch this very heavy rain coming in and filling in around the Houston area. They've been dealing with not only the heavy rain and gusty winds, but a few isolated tornadoes, at least warnings issued based on some of those tighter rotations identified by the radar. All of this is moving off to the north. There's Houston right there. You can see the eastern side of the eye is basically going to brush over Houston, and these very powerful squalls of heavy rain coming through that area. This is a system that is not going to stall out. It will continue moving off to the north and then maybe a little bit more east of due north. Eventually, it will turn more northeasterly. Movement right now, 12 miles per hour. As I mentioned, the winds down to 75 miles per hour. They had 80 mile per hour winds reported with this thing at landfall. And again, it is going to weaken over time. It's going to move across Arkansas tomorrow and then cut across on Wednesday. It'll move into the Ohio River Valley. So from the boot heel of Missouri through southern Illinois and Indiana and then back across Ohio, we're going to see the center moving along, but a lot of rain out in this part of the country expected with what's left of Beryl. You notice Hampton Roads in better shape. The East Coast, really the bulk of this will stay out to the west, but we will be dealing with heat and humidity and chances for storms here along the coast. Now, the center of the storm system, again, the models all have it taking a very similar path back up across Ohio and then just that remnant low kind of winding down as a rainmaker across the eastern Great Lakes as it moves off to the north and to the northeast. Now, the best news here as far as the tropical updates go, I know Beryl is bad and it's a big troublemaker for Texas, but as far as the rest of the Atlantic basin goes, here is some good news. The rest of the Gulf of Mexico, quiet. It's also mainly clear across the Caribbean, and as we look out across the main development region here, things also very quiet. So while Texas is dealing with Beryl, the rest of the tropics looking pretty good for now. We will, of course, keep you updated from 13 News Now.